Hello, wrestling fans, and welcome to another edition of Wrestler Weekly Memories. It is episode 4 in this new summer series, and I'm glad you are enjoying it. I want to jump right into memories of wrestling magazines. Now, when we were kids, my brother and I, Reggie, we called them wrestling books. I don't know how many of you out there grew up that way, but I'm talking late 70s, grocery store. That's where we picked up our magazines. Anytime my mom said, hey, I got to go to the grocery store to pick up a few things, man, we were, can I go? Because when you were in line, or depending on where the magazine racks were held, it was that idea in our heads as we drove and we rode to the grocery store, what magazine, who's going to be on the cover of Inside Wrestling, of The Wrestler, of all of those great magazines. Then later in 1979, 1980, 1981, PWI, Pro Wrestling Illustrated, and then all the other mini magazines, Wrestling Monthly, and just so many fantastic and great magazines, Wrestling Scene, Wrestling Guide, so many of those. Shout out to my good buddy Bill Pavlik. He's doing an awesome job on YouTube. If you want to see any magazine of any era, he's got it. He owns it, and he's going to show it to you. Check him out. If you want to know more about Wrestler Weekly, what we do, we are literally on every social media platform you can think of, including the new Threads. TikTok is blowing up now. Find all of our shows. Wrestler Weekly Presents, Wrestler Weekly Conversations. How about Man Cave Q&A? All of that stuff is on YouTube, on our YouTube channel. Subscribe. But you can find us at Wrestler Weekly, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. And then pick up the book, Family Bacon Wrestling, on Amazon. T-shirts, ProWrestlingTees.com. But, man, that magazine, that wrestling book, who was going to be on the cover, the anticipation, and then when we got there, my first wrestling magazine ever, it's the Wrestler Weekly logo, or at least an idea of it, right? The Wrestler, September 1979, the feud, Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling, my territory, my area was Ricky Steamboat versus Ernie the Cat Ladd. Also on that cover was Greg the Hammer Valentine against Ivan Putski when Greg had moved up north from Mid-Atlantic to the WWF. But, man, those wrestling books, my favorite of all time, everybody knows that. The Best of the Wrestler, 1979, November, Nature Boy Ric Flair. The U.S. title, my favorite belt, the red leather, November of 79, Best of the Wrestler. So many other ones. The first PWI, obviously fantastic. How about another Best of the Wrestler? Fall of 81, Ric Flair again bloodied with the U.S. belt. And then who can remember, who can not forget all of those belt mags? Those were our favorites. Any wrestling mag with a belt on the cover, we were going to pick it up. And then later in life, could you get it signed? We'll talk more about that next week when we get into the back covers, quote unquote. What are the back covers? Well, read my book. You'll see, you'll know more about it. So you'll be in tune next week. But again, thank you for joining us. It's Wrestler Weekly Memories.
Somebody say something about Tommy Wildfire Rich coming to you live in Myrtle Beach. The waves are gusting and the breezes are blowing. Lord have mercy. Wrestler Weekly. Y'all better check this stuff out.
Hey y'all, what does Baby Doll do when she needs to check the facts? I go to Wrestler Weekly, the history channel of professional wrestling.